Hello, Johnny Gators with the Computer Bar here with a little update to the Compaq Portable project. Probably another live stream video will be coming soon, hopefully with less cursing. And current status here is, as you can see, things are a little pieced together, kinda. I took the keyboard that originally goes with this machine and attached it back to this machine. Case is still not on it because that's being cleaned up a bit and is drying off. But at the moment, I only have a floppy drive in here, and I have the screen working. And the reason I have the screen working is because it's a completely different screen. Because this was machine number 1, and over there is machine number 2 that has the bad floppy and the bad video card in it that I have moved all the original parts back to make that a dual floppy machine. And taking that apart, cleaning up the case, dealing with the floppy issue and the video card issue will be a future project to get that back up to 100% operation. But in the meantime, I picked up machine number 3 because the best way to get one working Compaq portable is to have 2. The best way to get 2 working Compaq portables is to have 3. And maybe I'm cheating some more here, but this was a Compaq portable that was listed on eBay from a local seller, and it unfortunately had the keyboard cut off of it, which means that unless you can find another Compaq portable keyboard, this thing was destined to just be a bunch of parts. And actually, it did power on and attempt to boot up as it was. No parts are shorting out. Now, the floppy drive wouldn't boot up to a floppy disk, and the hard drive's not working to boot up. But it has a 20 meg hard drive in it with this little controller, and I did actually hook this up over here. And when I boot it to my PC DOS 3.2 disk, I was then able to change drives to drive C and browse the contents. And I couldn't get anything to run. It looks like it's got WordPerfect on it and some other utilities, and but I kept getting error messages, so I believe that the drive is corrupted over the years. But that's another spare part. There's a floppy drive in there that may or may not work. I don't know why this wouldn't boot as is. But as you see, I took it apart because the monitor in there was getting high voltage and was displaying without any vertical hold issues, and I moved that monitor into here. So that solves that problem. That also gives me plenty of spare screws. I have a spare video card. The video card is of the larger variety, which my first 2 machines don't have the narrower video card. But if I can't get, because this video card has a funky composite output, and that video card is dead. So that's 2 problematic video cards that I got to try to fix up. That one, I've not tried the composite out. I've only used it in a machine. So that gives me 3 video cards to try to get 2 working video cards out of. Motherboard's good. It's a good box of parts, is what it is. It's a shame about the keyboard. I mean, look at this. This is what was hanging out the front of it. Who would do that? I don't know, but I'll get use out of these parts. I'll hold on to everything here to keep my other 2 machines going. So that's where these projects are. I'll probably start. Small problem I ran into it. This machine came with a 10 meg hard drive in it, which I'm probably gonna build it back with that hard drive, just because of the uniqueness and funness of that. I mean. That hard drive it's okay, but I've tons of hard drives. Like, I don't know, this one's kind of more interesting to me. It's an IBM 10 meg hard drive that works with this controller here, and it's a very noisy drive though, so its days are probably numbered. I'll probably just drive it till it stops working, and then I could always throw like that Seagate in there. I've got a few other of that same Seagates, and I believe those faceplates, you could just, a few screws hold it on there. So I could grab any 20 meg Seagate, make it work with that controller. So it's lots of parts, lots of options to have some nice, pretty vintage Compaq portables fully working one with a added in hard drive, one double floppy, and a bunch of spare parts. So sometime later this week or this weekend, I'll probably do another live stream to piece this all back together. The problem I ran into with this drive, though, is that the Molex connector started hanging off over here, and then it came off. So yeah, I have no way to power this drive right now, but it's for contacts there that you can see I kind of tried to solder that Molex connector back on and failed miserably, but I can clean that solder up. And I basically bought a Molex adapter cable off of Amazon that'll get here tomorrow that I can clip one end off, strip the wires, and basically solder that onto there and just have a little Molex connector that's kind of hanging off the back there. That should be adequate to get power to that, get that running again in there. And so I can get that back in there. Also, this machine had, in addition to this controller in there, it had this card in here, which brings it up from 256K of RAM to 640K of RAM. And it also has a battery compartment there, so I believe it's some kind of a clock card. But I've never been able to find a driver for it, and I've never been able to get it to work, which is why I just decided to take the battery out of it at this point. But meanwhile, this machine also had a RAM and clock cord of some kind. That battery was in there. It's not corroded. It looks shiny. I don't know if it's new or not. I got to check the voltage on that. So I'm going to do some research on what this card is and see if I can find a driver for this. Because this also brings the machine from 256K up to 640K. So this is also some kind of a RAM clock card. So if I can get this one to work versus that one, that gives me another option for this machine to bring it up to a 640K with a clock and a hard drive. If I were smart, I'd put that hard drive in and have the 20 megs and not have the noisy thing that sounds like it's about to die. But where's the charm in that? I could always swap things later. So yeah, that's the current plan for my project. Put this back together once I fix the hard drive and get that up and running again as a, mostly the parts from the first machine with a replaced CRT video board, since I don't know what went wrong with that one. At a later date, I'll fix that up. But really, the next project is going to be this fun little guy here, which is a Compaq Portable 2 that is in awful shape. It has quite a beat-up handle on it. Unfortunately, this machine also has a beat-up handle on it, which is... So yeah, it's kind of like... which handle... I mean, that one doesn't have it ripped on the top, but it's completely coming apart and it has threads hanging here. This one is still in one piece, but it's quite worn. Although, that one might have the slight edge, even though from a distance that one might look a little better since it doesn't have that light on it. Anyways, it's an interesting machine. Looks very similar to the Compaq Portable, but it don't open up the same. You have to slide down the panels and take 2 screws off each side, and the whole case slides up. And this machine was a recent eBay purchase. I managed to get it for half of what they offered it to me for, and that offer was a discounted price. So this guy wanted to move this thing out for whatever cash they could get for it. And it was advertised as not working, and the pictures of it did not have it powering on. But I plugged it in. I took the case off so I could see the motherboard light. Plugged it in, turned it on. Little red LED lit up. Screen came to life, and it's looking for a disk. It's got a built-in floppy and a built-in hard drive, but it won't boot to the hard drive, and it won't boot to a floppy. And the thing looks like a disaster. So we got to take it apart. We got to clean it up. We got to play with the floppy drive some, see if we can get it to boot up to something, see if the hard drive could be formatted, things like that. So this is my new toy. So this will probably just get put back together with its issues for a future day. This will probably be my next thing to put on the bench and play with after that thing's back together and fully operational. Also, this keyboard has been refoamed, but I'd never retro-brighted the keys, so I will probably do that because I am actually working on an addition to get this fully functional. I'm also working on getting it looking really nice and pretty. So yeah, I'll have to take this keyboard apart again and retro-bright the keys. Not to mention I bought a foam kit for the keyboard on that one. So yeah, those are 2 Compaq Portables, a Compaq Portable 2, and a bunch of spare parts that I should be able to get into 3 working machines. A lot of uncertainties and unknowns about that one, though. So, lots more projects to look forward to on the computer bar, so stay tuned.